On a muggy night here in Houston, Texas, it's a perfect 72 degrees inside NRG Stadium. And we are underway from Houston. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Stroud off the play fake. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Rolling to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Stroud. This ball caught by Mechie. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Stroud out of the gun here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Nico Collins from 10 yards out. And the Texans put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at about the 32. The slot man in motion right. Now Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
A first carry for Rachaad White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Mayfield. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
They go play action. Mayfield. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. To throw, Mayfield. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Mayfield down. He's got Otten. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Stroud to throw it. Mechie has it on the slant. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now 2 yards to go on third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Stroud working out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Play action. Here's Stroud. Looking sideline, incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Oh, he stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Stroud looking to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. On is the punter, Townsend, as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete right side to Otten. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Mayfield to throw it. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The Bucs on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Mayfield. And a catch right side by Evans. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Play action. Stroud now. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Here is 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Christian Kirk, 39 yards. And the Texans are able to add on to that lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
2nd and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Throwing, Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
In motion left, Godwin. Mayfield looks to throw. That is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Mayfield. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Christian Harris. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Stroud out of the gun here. Escaping the punt. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
An option handoff here to Mixon. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn comes on. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Stroud. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. John Mechie from 8 yards out. And the Texans are able to stretch out their lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Now there's a short one taken in by Otten. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
From the gun, Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Stroud sets up the play action. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Stroud to throw it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. Here's 3rd and 9. And Stroud now to throw. Open man, that's Collins. He's got it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This goes out wide from Mixon. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Now 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Stroud looking to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Defense really kept him in check running the football in the first half. Maybe that'll be a spark for him here in half 2.
So 2 words come to mind for me. Resilient, because he has to keep bouncing back after some limiting runs. And how about relentless? Keep going, knowing that you may pop one as he just did there.
He's got Otten. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
In motion right is Evans. Now Mayfield. And this is caught by Evans. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 2nd down. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Stroud. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Stroud. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time, multiple guys get to him.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Mayfield to throw it. And a catch right side by Evans. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
A run up the middle with Irving. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. In motion right, Evans. Mayfield down. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And that'll be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. This ball complete to Durham. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Mayfield with it once more, and he fends him off. And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage, completion-wise, way up. Not that time. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Stroud. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Stroud out of the gun here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Stroud off the play fake. That's caught again by Schultz.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 3. The throwing again is Stroud. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Here's Stroud. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Fielded at the 33. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well. But
a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing, Mayfield. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Houston set to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Stroud to throw it. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And now another one thrown incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's taken down inside the 30. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very solid gain of 27.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right on the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Irving is into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now they'll go play action here with Stroud. That one complete downfield to Kirk. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Kirk. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Texans use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
To throw, Mayfield. Looking Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Stroud sets up the play action. That's complete. It's Collins. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Second down and a yard. And Stroud now to throw. Another one caught by Collins. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. mixing up the middle. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Collins. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the 1st down marker at the Bucs 27. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Throwing now is Stroud. To Mixon on the check down. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This ball complete to Durham. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They run out of the gun with Irvin. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Finding Otten once more. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Mayfield now. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Here's second and a yard. Now Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Here's Baker. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And the Bucs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Here we go, 1st and goal. Mayfield to throw. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Buccaneers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. Mayfield. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Houston set to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Mayfield. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now Mayfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.